Okay, everyone. So we'll get started. I'm going to turn my video on now, so hopefully it will work. Give me a little second. Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. Waves to all the Peachfolio team and all the community there. We are recording this, okay? We do this every week anyway, so you should know this if you've been with us for any length of time. But it's just to make you aware if you do wish to ask a question at the end of my little bit, you will be recorded, and this does go on to the hopefully we'll get it on the YouTube later on, but also it'll be pinned in our Telegram group. So just bear that in mind if you do choose to speak. I think everybody's muted at the moment, but once I've sort of gone through my bit, I'll unmute everyone, and if you want to ask any questions, you're very free and able to do that. Or if you don't want to ask in voice, you can type a question in the Telegram and I'll do my best to answer it. So I'd just like to welcome everyone for joining me today. It's the 24th of November. It's getting close to December and Christmas and all that sort of stuff. And I know it's Thanksgiving for all our American friends is this week as well. So it's a lovely time of year. Right? It's one of my favorite times of year we're starting to go into. So hopefully everybody's starting to feel a little bit festive and is looking forward to the next few weeks. And obviously this time of year tends to be quite a bullish time for crypto generally, or at least it has been for some of the big sort of bull markets that there's been over the last 4 or 5 years. So it'll be really interesting to see how things develop over the next month or two. November probably hasn't been the big massive pump that I think everybody maybe was expecting to date, although we still have about a week or so of November to go, so things can change very quickly in crypto, as we know. So we'll wait and see, and maybe that will happen. Obviously it will all start with a Bitcoin move. That's how it normally moves, and then things tend to follow. And as I explained last week, obviously our token, the PCHF token, is linked directly to BNB, the Binance token. So generally we do well when the Binance token does well, and generally the Binance token does well whenever Bitcoin does well. So everything's sort of interlinked. But from our end, the project and the team that we have, we're working really hard at the moment to put things in place to try and ensure that we'll have a really strong end to the year. And obviously it's going to end really with the launch of the PeachHub, which is due to launch before the end of this year. So as I said, we're nearly into December really already. So we're only really talking a few weeks, and then we should be able to start heavily teasing and hyping up what will be the PeachHub, and then we'll have it ready to go before the end of the year. So there's a huge amount of stuff coming, lots of stuff to look forward to. We're very, very, very busy at the minute, and I know the last few weeks have maybe felt a little bit slower than maybe a month before, when we had a lot of interest and things were really going well and pumping and so on. And that's great, but us as a team, although that's exciting and it's great to see, we obviously we're so product focused, and we're focused on building and expanding the project. A lot of our work goes unseen, I guess, until we release those updates on the app, or get the work that we're doing on the PeachHub more out there, and that will come. And we expect whenever people start seeing what the PeachHub is going to look like and some of the functionality that we're going to introduce into that, people should start getting very excited and very interested in the project. And we're really looking forward to that. So we're expecting a very strong end of the year, as I said. And obviously we'll do our best to get things in place to try and ensure that as many people know about it as possible. We're working with the crypto token marketing agency, as you'll know, and they've been very helpful to us and have been instrumental in the lead up that we had to the unlocking. And obviously the locking situation is that we have everything in place now. We've got the updates that we needed to get through both the Apple Store and the Google Store through, which is great. So everything is in place. We're ready to go from the back end side. What we're waiting on at the minute is to try and get a solution to the Trust Wallet issue that we have, that I know is sort of stopping some people, enabling them to get themselves set up to unlock. And we want to, I suppose, stall the formal locking until we're sure that everybody who wants to unlock is able to. So that's why we sort of delayed things a little bit over the last week or two, until we get that Trust Wallet issue sorted out. But we are working on that, and I believe we do have a solution to it. It's just about getting that implemented. One of the big things that happened in the last week, which hopefully everybody will know about and will have noticed, is that we've finally been able to upgrade the servers, and also we've done a lot of work on the back end of the Peachfolio app. And hopefully you will now see that there's been a huge upgrade to performance on the app. Things are working quicker, they're smoother. When you first launch the app, everything should be there much quicker than it was. So we're really pleased with how well that went, and we've had some very good and positive feedback from the community and from the app users since we have sorted that out, which has been great. We've noticed actually that the ratings that we've had on the Google Play Store have gone up in the last week since then, because I think a few people had marked us down over the last few weeks, totally understandably so, because the performance of the app wasn't what we wanted it to be. And the reason for that was simply because there had been such a huge increase in the number of daily users, that the servers and the back end that we had previous to our upgrade just really was struggling to cope with that. So as I said last week, it's good in a sense that we got to that point, because it shows that people like our app and are using it on a regular basis and find it useful. So it's growing pains, I suppose, of a project like ours that has a product out, that sometimes the rate of growth of users outstrips the capability of the servers and things, and the back end stuff that you need to make sure that everything works well. But now we've sorted that out, so hopefully that should see us stable and quick for the foreseeable future. I mean, obviously we hope to continue to grow, and as we do, and we get more and more users and more people using the app on a regular basis, we may come up against similar problems again in the future, and obviously we'll try our best to ensure that we know we have things in place, if that does happen, so we get things upgraded in a quicker way when that happens. So that's I suppose the main sort of thing from last week was the server upgrade. We've been doing a lot of teasing in the last week, as I'm sure you'll have seen. There's been huge rumors that we're going to open a zoo, or perhaps we're going to start a safari company. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, if you have a look at our socials, and if you sort of scroll back on our Telegram, you'll see a lot of monkey business, and yes, I can see there's lots of Peach Zoo things coming up. It's almost becoming a meme at this point, or a meme. I mean, I am in a position to announce what that is, and I'm sure plenty of you have probably guessed what it is. And unfortunately, we're not in the position to open a zoo at the moment. Although you never know in the future. Who knows? We might be in a position to open a zoo or open a safari. That would be wonderful. To an animal lover like myself, that would be lovely. But at the moment, that's not what we're going to be doing. But what we are instead doing is that we are working with FEG, okay, and we're over the next week. There's going to be a lot of FEG related stuff between ourselves and them, and it's going to end with us listing on the FEG decks. So we're very excited about that. I know probably people had sort of guessed it would be FEG because of the monkeys and the apes and so on. So congratulations to those who did figure it out, and commiserations to those who are very upset to hear that there isn't actually going to be a zoo. But like I said, we might add it. We might add it to the white paper in the future. When zoo.
You're getting recommendations in the chat there. Q4 2022.
Q4 2022. Okay. Well, I mean, I can't commit to that date specifically, or indeed that we will ever do it. But if we ever are in a position to do it, I promise you we will do it. Okay. But we're not in the position to open the zoo at the minute. But instead, we're doing FEG. So we're going to call the next week FEG Fest. Okay. We're going to try and have a bit of fun with it, and we've got a lot of stuff. We've got a lot of stuff lined up. As I say, it's going to end with us listing. Hopefully, sort of next week, we'll list with the FEG decks. But as part of that, the FEG token is going to be our token of the moment for the next week. And we've got other stuff coming up with them. And one of the big things, actually, that we're going to be doing in the next few days is that we're going to enable reflection tracking for all FEG token holders on the Peachfolio app. And that's potentially going to be a big deal for us. And the reason for that is, I mean, for those who don't know FEG, I mean, I would imagine most people do, because it's extremely well known. People really like it, and it's been around for a long time. But for those who don't know FEG, do have a look at their website, have a look at their Twitter, and go into their Telegram. You'll see that they have, I think it's about 160,000 people in their Telegram. I think it's more than 300,000 people follow them on Twitter. They're extremely popular. They're very, very big, very well known, and well liked within DeFi. So for us to be linking in with them in the way that we are, I think is very promising for us. And obviously we want to try and maximize what we can do with FEG. So bringing in the reflection tracking like we are intending to do, I think is going to be very interesting, I think, because we'll be able to then sort of advertise that to the FEG community and all the holders of the FEG token, because FEG do actually have reflections as part of their tokenomics. So it means that we can do that. We can set it up within the app. So it should be something that will encourage FEG holders to use the app. And obviously the reflection tracking, whenever we lock, it's going to be potentially one of the locked things that you're going to require the Peach token for. So you can sort of see how it all works. You get more people interested in using the app because of the functions and functionality that we have within the app. That then makes it more likely that they will be interested in purchasing the Peach token, because they'll want to keep using that functionality. So that's really good. We're really excited about that. So you'll hear a lot more about it over the next few days. But that's the big news, I suppose, for today, is the big FEG and Peachfolio work that's happening in the next week. So I hope you're all excited about that and are looking forward to how that pans out. We think it should generate quite a lot of interest in the project. And obviously we'll be doing a lot of marketing around that, lots of stuff on socials and things like that. So you'll see a ton of stuff on FEG and Peachfolio. And I think they're going to be token of the moment probably either during this chat or after this chat. The app dev team will get that set up for us, and that will be up and running, and then we can sort of start highlighting that to both communities. So that's great. So we're very excited about that, and it's something that we've been working on for a number of weeks, actually, because it does take quite some time to get these things set up. Another thing I suppose I can talk about a little bit, but it is like a real NDA situation. I actually can't tell you who or what really, but what I can say is that we are in discussions with a major blockchain at the minute. and we've been talking to them for the last couple of weeks, and they seem genuinely very interested in what we're doing, which is great for us. So, I mean, it's a very early stages. I don't want to, build this up too much at the minute because we are really in the first week or two of discussions and talks. But it's very encouraging that first of all they agreed to talk to us at all, really, because it's hard to get that door open initially, and then the feedback and the sort of the type of discussions that we've had with their team has been very, very promising to date. So we're very excited about it. Obviously, I can't say who it is or when or what it might lead to, because I suppose we don't really know what it might lead to at this point. But we're very encouraged by the sort of discussions that we've had to date. So we're working very hard behind the scenes, I suppose is what I'm trying to say, as a team. We're reaching out and trying to build relationships and have discussions with, I suppose, high level people within DeFi and within crypto generally. We do want to see ourselves grow into a big, well-respected project, and obviously we're going to be doing that by building the ecosystem that hopefully you will all be aware of if you've seen our white paper. And I suppose the benefit that we have at the minute is obviously we have the app is already out. It's being updated regularly, and it works really well. And that in itself opens doors for us in a way that perhaps other projects might find some difficulty with, who maybe don't have a working product yet. It's very obvious to people that we're talking to that we're serious. All they need to do is download the app and try it and have a conversation with us, and then that does seem to open doors a little bit, which is really good. So we're going to be pushing that very hard. We are in discussions with other people as well. In fact, I don't know how many official discussions we have at the moment. There's at least 5, I think, that I'm aware of, in little groups. Different people in the team having different discussions with different organizations and companies and projects and so on. So it's an ongoing changing picture day by day, because it's something that we're always doing, if you know what I mean, in the background. But we are in discussions with several exchanges as well. Those discussions are ongoing. These things do take time, and I suppose from our end as well, we want to be sure that anything that we do that is quite big for the project, that we do it at the time that we feel is most appropriate and most effective for the project. We don't want to rush into anything, and then it maybe have not the impact that we want, or even worse, it have like a detrimental effect on the project. So we're very careful and cautious, I suppose, with things like that. But at the same time, we are ambitious, and we want to be positive, and we want to see the project grow to a really big level. So we are discussing it with lots of different people. So I just wanted to let you know about that, although I haven't really been able to tell you very much, but you get the gist of it, hopefully. Yes, so the PeachHub, as I said earlier, it is due for release before the end of this year. So really, you're only talking a few weeks. Work on that is ongoing. I think last week, a lot of the development work was on the server upgrade and the back end side of things, but now the work is solely really on the PeachHub. So it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to use it and start beta testing it and so on. So once we get further down the line, I suppose, of the development of that, we'll be able to share more and more information about what you can expect from the PeachHub. And I know from talking to the team and the guys who are working on it right now, they've got huge plans for it, and lots of really interesting, innovative features that they're looking to integrate, that some of which other similar products may have, but ours will also have things that I don't think other projects will have at all. I think we'll be quite unique in certain aspects, and I'm really excited about that. I know one of the features that I have spoken about previously in the last week or two is a sort of enhanced price alert system that we're looking to integrate. I think I've spoken about that a little bit before, and the feature there that you'll be able to set certain keywords that you want to look for, and it will enable you to be highlighted to you whenever a new project releases under certain parameters that you've already set. So it should enable you to find the sort of projects that you want to invest in quicker than anyone else, particularly if you're like me and you invest in BNB tokens quite a lot. Very often the first time you find out about a project is maybe a Reddit post, or something like that, when maybe the project's already launched. Maybe it launched the night before or 2 days ago, and sometimes when you find out about a project, it's maybe already too late to get in really early, which is really what most people want to do. Is you want to get in as soon as you can to get the benefits of that first big pump, which normally does happen for a lot of those sort of micro cap projects. So it's important to get in as early as possible. So we're hopeful that our ecosystem will enable you to have the edge to do that. But also we want to try and keep you safe as well. So we're hopefully going to implement different tools and analytics that you'll have there to analyze whether you feel it's a safe investment or not, or at least you can try and mitigate the risk to yourself. So we're very confident it's going to be a really successful tool that people are going to want to use, because it will help them for their investments, but also it will hopefully minimize the risk that there is out there. Unfortunately, in DeFi at the minute, there's still a lot of risk, and the risk may always be there, but we want to try and help people avoid getting losing money if at all possible. Trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, the marketing, I suppose the crypto token, we're in constant communication with them. We're currently just finalizing the details of the marketing strategy, sort of on up till sort of Christmas time. So we've allocated a budget to that, and we're just finalizing the details at the minute of exactly what we want to focus on. The difficulty with this, and I know marketing is always something that comes up, and obviously it is very important, but I think the last couple of weeks probably does show that sometimes the market conditions that you're currently in are the biggest challenge, rather than marketing or not marketing that well. We did do a couple of YouTube videos, which I thought were very, very good, a week or two ago. And unfortunately, it sort of fell flat because Bitcoin decided to do a bit of a dump and took the whole market with it. So sometimes it doesn't really matter what you do. The market has different ideas and can bring things down regardless of what you do with regards to the marketing. So timing's very important. And I suppose what we want to try and do is maximize the potential of the marketing that we will have. And obviously we'll be looking at the overall marketing conditions, or market conditions, I should say, before deciding to push the button on certain things. So I know when it's a very choppy sort of sideways market that it is, in the broader crypto market, that does tend to lead to a bit of FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt within smaller projects that also tend to chop about and maybe go down a little bit, because of it. So you want to get your timing right, so that you're maybe trying to focus on things as the market is starting to recover, and really sort of benefit from that wave of optimism then that comes in from people, and then you catch the eye of people who are looking to invest money again into the market, and that's when you see a big wave of investment come in. So that's what we're trying to do, and we do expect, we also, I should say that the marketing budget that we have, we've increased it substantially actually, since certainly in the last couple of months our budget has increased. So the run up to Christmas and the run up to the PeachHub is going to be a very big focus for us with regards to our marketing. And obviously we have increased the budget substantially to try and help us do that. So hopefully you'll see the benefits of that. But obviously, because we're a utility token, a lot of our value comes from the utility that we generate and create with our project and our products. So I would anticipate that, as more and more functionality is added to our app, and as the PeachHub releases and we add more and more functionality to the PeachHub, and then we link the Peach token to all of that functionality, we're very hopeful that we will just continue to grow. And we'll grow organically because of the utility that we're building into the ecosystem. We may get the odd pump from that, every now and again, and that's great, and we'd love that. That's fantastic. But really, what we want is steady organic growth, and I feel that we are getting that. We are getting that. So yeah, we've been very encouraged with how things are going. Obviously, the last few weeks we've seen a bit of a dip in the market, and these things do happen, and some of it is outside of our control, unfortunately. But I can assure you that as a team, we're very calm about it, and we're continuing to work extremely hard to build the project up. And you will start seeing hopefully the benefits of that. And next week should be fun. All the things we've got planned with FEG should be great and should get us a lot of new people interested in our project. So hopefully that will be seen on the chart as well. But we'll see how it goes. But that is everything I suppose I wanted to mention from my side. What I will do is, if you want to ask me a question, feel free to sort of stick your hand up in the way you can on this. I think you just click on the little microphone and a little hand pops up. So if you want to speak, please do that, and I will unmute you and you're free to talk. Also, I'll have a quick look in the Telegram to see if there's any. There's lots and lots of stuff in the Telegram, actually. Might take me a while to get through all that. Yeah, so if anybody wants to talk, now do bear in mind we are recording this. So just to remind yourself that if you do want to talk, you'll be recorded. So I'll maybe start unmuting people. So I'll just work my way down and allow everyone to speak. You're all a bit shy today. I can tell. Or maybe you're just stunned. You're stunned in the silence. Okay, just allowing everyone to speak here. So hopefully you'll all be able to talk if you wish. Okay. My goodness, there's about 100 Telegram messages. Let me just see. Okay. Okay. When pro feature lock, says Pickless. As I said earlier, Pickless, what we're hoping to do is get the Trust wallet situation sorted out. We're working on that at the minute. We want everybody to be able to unlock. It's going to be this week. It will be this week. I don't have a specific date for you exactly, but we will have it all done this week, and we'll obviously be we'll be making a notice for everyone that will be happening, so everybody will be aware of it. The reason why we delayed, first of all, was the Trust wallet issue. That was one big thing for us, because we didn't want to have people be locked out that didn't need to be locked out or already had the tokens, for certain tiers, and then not be able to access that. We didn't want that to happen. But also, because of the server difficulties that we'd experienced over the last 3 or 4 weeks, we really wanted to rectify that as soon as possible. So I suppose we focused on that in the last week to try and ensure that we got that fixed. So now we're going to focus on the locking and obviously FEG this week as well. And then really from then on, it's all going to be about the PeachHub. Let me just see if there's any other questions. Yeah, I mean, I can see talk about the token and so on the chart. And, you know, I did say last week, and I've touched on it this week as well. You know, the overall market conditions for the last few weeks have been very challenging. There's no getting around that. You know, it's been challenging for us. It's been challenging for, I would say, the vast majority of projects in DeFi, certainly on the BNB chain. And you'll have seen that if you've invested in other projects, as I'm sure you are, the vast majority of them also have seen a bit of a hit to the market cap on their charts over the last week or two, and we're no different. Unfortunately, these things happen. You know, people get scared. They see, you know, the overall momentum in crypto maybe going to the red, and you get some people who anticipate things dropping, so they'll sell in the hope to buy at a lower price. And you'll just get people who panic and worry or lose patience or you know, get worried and fearful and sell and want to get some return on their investment, and that's fine. You know, people will buy and people will sell. That is what happens, and I suppose all we can do as a team and as a project is to just keep building the utility side as much as we can and make sure we have the best possible products out there that will encourage investment, ongoing investment into the future. So thank you for those who stick with us. You know, we're very fortunate. We've got a very strong group of holders that have been with us for a long time, and we're very grateful for that support. But obviously, we've got people who come in who maybe haven't been with us that long, and maybe get a little bit worried when they see the chart dip, and that's understandable. We totally understand that, you know, and people are free to take profits anytime they wish. You know, it's the free market out there, and if that's what they choose to do, good luck to them. That's fine. But obviously, we're building something we feel is going to be big, and will be very useful, and we believe that the chart and the token will grow with it, and that might take some time. It might take some time. So we just ask for a bit of patience, and hopefully you'll see over the coming weeks and months more and more products come out. The PeachHub obviously is the next big one, and you'll be able to judge yourself, I suppose, when you try these things, if you feel we've made a good job of it or not, and then you can decide yourself whether you feel we continue to have your support or not. So that's, I suppose, what I'll say on that. Yes, Kamaran, so we're doing we're linking with FEG this week, so they're going to be our token of the moment, but also we're going to show reflections to their holders within our app, which is going to be a big deal, I think, for them. Yeah. Okay. So look, I think I'm going to end it at that for today. Thank you very much to those who have asked questions there in the Telegram. I don't think anybody spoke last week. I think somebody was trying to speak to me through the video, but I couldn't hear them. So I sincerely hope that hasn't happened again this week. I don't think anybody was asking me a question there on voice, and so if you did and I didn't hear you, I apologize, because that's what happened last week. But I don't think anybody did. So look, thanks very much for joining me. I'll hopefully see you all again next week. And I hope you enjoy FEG Fest this week. There should be lots of interesting monkey-filled, ape-like business. And when zoo, just keep asking when zoo, and keep telling us, you know, we need to build a zoo and a safari. So as I say, white paper 3.0, who knows? Could be zoo-based. I'm just going to leave it there, just for you to think about that. All right, stay safe, everyone, and take care. I'm going to leave, but I will. I'll leave the chat on, so if people want to to have a chat, they can. So I'm just going to stop recording now.